Street Somm. Saw this clip, saw this trailer of this man talking about something that only a connoisseur would know. And I use that word specifically because it applies to this field. They call him the wolf of wine.
Yes, sir.
The wolf of wine, citizens, is here with us. We have a lot of people who drink wine recreationally, who listen to this show. Some people drink it for medical reasons. You know, they do a glass of wine a day for blood pressure and all these different ways. It helps.
For antioxidants.
Antioxidants and how it helps with your heart if you don't go too deep in on it. And a lot of people drink to get drunk, right? And so there's so many avenues, so many layers to the world of wine that I do not understand. But my good friend and sister Heather B does, and she's educated me so much on different kind of wines. I was in Vegas recently at the fight. I wanted to buy a bottle of wine for a friend of mine, and I didn't know what wine to buy. I didn't know any of this. And so when I saw this man's face, he's our guest today, who has this new show, Street Somm, that's on Taste Made streaming channel, and he looks just like us. I said, why not have this man on, and maybe he's existing in spaces we don't see a lot of us at. Please welcome the one and only, the Wolf of Wine, Jermaine Stone is here.
The
Wolf of Wine is here.
What an intro, man. I had to look around, make sure you was talking about me for a second.
Hell yeah.
Jay, I know you watched the show, right?
Oh, for sure.
And you see the intros we give people?
150%. See, I didn't think y'all was going to talk about me like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate it. I'm just happy to be here, man. I'm a huge fan of the show, huge fan of you guys. I remember Heather B with the rhyme book in the video. You know what I'm saying? I'm from that era. I'm from that era.
1996.
You know how hype I got when I saw the rhyme book in the video? Because it was like,
Talk about the rhyme book. Yeah.
I felt that.
The black and white composition notebooks. It's a lost art, but they are still out there for
only
people
the real ones know.
that do that. This is why we tell artists, Jermaine, like, stop not using your work and understanding that it's art. It's a piece of art. Your rhyme books are one of one.
100%.
Like this, it's so beautiful to have those books. Can you imagine a Biggie rhyme book, a Pac rhyme book, a Common rhyme book, a Nas rhyme book? Those composition notebooks, we use those because you couldn't rip the pages out.
Yeah.
So you always had your notes to go back to because the sheets of paper are sewn together in those black and white. So they were made like that for a reason.
And if you was a real one, you would if you messed up, you would go back and rewrite it.
It
was perfect.
Always
you know what I'm saying?
You always had to rewrite
I'm from that era.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I was a doodler too, so I had the rhyme book with the doodling on it. Is that what you say? How's it say?
Doodle.
Doodle.
Right,
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Doodle.
And it was, you couldn't understand what I was writing because there'd be different things there. But then, because we got record deals. By the way, JoJo was here. JoJo Brim, where he at? Is he leave?
My man JoJo at.
JoJo
he in
Brim,
the hallway.
who came with Jermaine Stone. At that time, him and I was signed to Giant Warner Brothers. But when we got signed, I went back and rewrote all the lyrics too, so it could be neat for publishing.
Legible.
Yeah, I needed to be neat. So
I still got old high school rhyme books, like still today.
Really?
I look back
That's
at them.
dope.
Yeah.
Like, can you remember any of it?
Yo, listen, man. Sway, I'm still a hyena, man. FYI. I'm still a hyena, man. That ain't never go away. That ain't never go away. You know what I'm saying?
A wolf and a hyena.
At the same time.
Hyena.
At the same time. Because the thing is, the thing about rap is, like, if you truly love it, it's just kind of what you do.
Yeah.
So even when I was like, I'm not trying to be a rapper, I still kept writing just for fun.
Just for release too.
Yeah,
for release,
exactly.
right?
That's been my stress relief. That's my therapy. Like, me still writing rhymes and all that. That's my therapy.
Yeah, because I think for a lot of us in the culture, like, that's our form of journaling.
Exact. Yo, she
that's what
speaking
it is.
my heart right now.
Yeah.
For real.
Jermaine don't really know where he at right now.
You know what? I be in wine world a lot, so I'm in a safe space. I forgot I'm in a safe. I be in wine, so I forgot I'm in a safe space.
But even that is very interesting because how did you navigate? Like, I'm from, and I think Sway can probably relate to this, and probably you as well. My grandfather, being from the South Carolina, they did what they call corn liquor, and that was, if you knew about that, that was made in the South. It was made in a tub. It was made at a certain time of year. They took the juniper. They took all of that. So I always looked at that as a correlation to why we celebrate wine now. It's nothing like that corn liquor. You get a batch of that, and it was special, and it 100%. Took care of everything. It was medicine. It was joy.
It'll clear up your chest.
It'll do everything.
Wipe off your kitchen table with that.
They call it moonshine. It's a lot of different words for that, but we had that, and so through my grandfather, I fell in love with the process of it all and wine and different things like that. But for you, where did your love fall for? Because we have hip hop, we have sports, but to Sway's point, it's very rare. I know of you now, and I know of the Harlem Wine God in terms of two. That's my guy. Shout out to Mo Moselle, the Harlem Wine God. He's official. That's in that Somm space for us. So how did you get into it?
Well, it's interesting because, like I mentioned, I grew up in the Bronx. I grew up rapping. That's what I thought I was gonna do. Like, everyone assumed that's what to the point my parents didn't even care that I didn't take my SATs. They were like, "Oh, Jermaine's gonna be a rapper. It's fine." But I took a little too long to make that transition. The Devil's Playground is idle time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I just had too much time doing stupid stuff. My parents pressed me to go to school. But, shout out to my pops. He's an amazing person. But he's the kind of person, if he pays for stuff, he controls the strings. Yeah. So
that's pretty much who parents are. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
But if you paid for it, you could have controlled the strings.
Which is exactly how I got into the wine business.
Okay.
So it's like I just needed a daytime job. Any daytime job that had upward mobility. So I found a job working at this place, Zacky's Wine Auctions. Yes. I was a dude in the warehouse, packing boxes, shipping them out. But, I grew up in the hood. Like, I didn't think about wine. The only time I looked at wine was when, my mom was making sorrel and she had Manischewitz wine. She'll pour in there. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, wine didn't exist for me. So it wasn't really a thing. I was just packing boxes. But being there, I get these super old boxes, like with nails hanging out of them, dust all over them. And I'm like, wow, this is kind of crazy. You looking at the year and you see it's like, wow, this is my birth year or older sometimes. And then, my job was to actually check the invoice to make sure that everything that was purchased was being shipped out. So I look at how much they was paying for this stuff. I'm like,
give me some example. Like,
I got a picture. If somebody scrolls back farther enough from my Instagram, it was like $14,000 for one bottle. $14,000 for one bottle
of wine, red or white.
Yeah, it was a red. It was a Bordeaux. It was a bottle of Lafite Rothschild. Interesting thing is, years later in my career, that same family would invite me out to their property to come shoot, just because they saw how I was bridging cultures. Because at the end of the day, we all ultimately want the same thing, and wine is about sharing. Wine is about culture. But, like I mentioned, I started out that wine auction house, started in the warehouse, and literally just worked my way up. So my first job was the shipping clerk, and my last job when I left wine auction was auction director and auctioneer. So
you can do the auction stuff?
I'm the world's first black wine auctioneer, man.
You better.
Are you really though? 100%.
You're the world's first black auctioneer.
Come
on, man. We got black wine auctioneer.
Let's
You know what I'm
be clear.
saying? So,
He leaving me hanging too.
Y'all can check
all
those
right.
too. I'm sorry.
Hey, man, do me a favor, man. Sell these, auction off these shades for me. Like, how would you do it?
All right, let's see. Okay, so here we starting this off. All right. We starting this off at $300.
Okay, let me
got
get it. Go.
$300.
Got
All right, we got $300. Give me $350 though. Who got $350? I got $350 with me. $400. Give me $450. Who got $450? $400 in the back. $400 in the back. Give me $5.
$6.
Oh, $600. Okay, we talking big money now. Give me $1,000. You got $1,000, $2,000. She looked like she got money. $2,000. Give me 22. We have twos now. Give me 22. Come on. Who got? All right, 22.
Okay.
All right. So I think
no. Go when nobody else is bidding. Like going once, going twice.
22.
Okay.
With 22, I seen the hand go down. Come on, brother. 20. Give me 30. Give me 3,000.
Stop bidding so I can get to the end.
We got 3,000. 3,000 up here. It looked all right. This is a big boy bid. 3,000 going once, going twice. Last call. All right, hammer time. Bang. So I used to actually say hammer time because, again, I always wanted to integrate that little fun thing. And when you sell a wine, it's called the hammer price because that's when the hammer drops. Oh. So it would be little things like that people would just enjoy. And, that's why I saw, this is all one thing, and everybody just want to have fun.
Man, Jermaine, the Wolf of Wine, Stone is here.
Yeah.
You can follow him at Real Wolf of Wine. Wolf of Wine. He got Street Somm, the new series that's out on Tastemade streaming channel. Who are some of the most interesting people you've met in this environment?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, I say Let's see. So I was mentioning when I was invited to Bordeaux, it was the Rothschild family that invited me out. So Saskia Rothschild, man, shout out to Saskia. That's my people.
Was Jay Electronica there?
No, he wasn't. He was not
Get
there.
out.
He was not there.
He wasn't performing.
He was not there. He wasn't there. Let me see. Who else?
The Rothschilds, you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I be hanging.
What was that like? Did they hand you an
crazy.
apron?
I put on a robe.
Okay.
I did. There was a point I did have a little velvet robe on. I ain't gonna hold you at one point. But nah, for real. Yo, listen, look at my gram. It's there.
But why did you have a velvet robe?
Yo, so it was the Left Bank Bordeaux Cup, and it's a competition with all Ivy League schools. It's a blind wine tasting competition, and they got all they have a way of doing things. Yo, it's in the dark room. We can candles, velvet robe. My man Yusef was there. He know exactly what I'm talking about.
Eyes wide shut.
It was some eyes wide. And here's the cool
Like the
thing,
So
though.
What You Saying video by EPMD.
The coolest part was though, like they thought it was cool too. They, you know what I mean? It wasn't like they were like, all right, now lock in this trance. No, they,
Right.
like Saskia, let me put the robe on. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just like, yo, this is just what we do.
And see, basically what he's saying to for everybody that doesn't understand, there's levels to this. Like master sommeliers are like rare. This like that blind tasting where they just the way they open a bottle, the way they pour, the way they display. They have to sponsor you. One of them will have to sponsor you to even go through the process. Like we're making light of it because he's from our culture, so we understand. Yeah. But this is serious freaking stuff here. This is real stuff.
Wow.
No,
I understand. So yeah.
Really, what my approach has been, because shout to all the master sommeliers. I'm not a master sommelier. I'm a street somm.
Got you. Right, yeah. No, I got you. I understand.
But that's the beautiful part about it because wine is so inviting. Mm-hmm. Like what I'm trying to do is make it so I'm trying to change American wine culture. I want people to feel like it's just a part of our day to day. When you go out in other areas in the world, it's just what they do. It's not like a big thing. You're not feeling fancy. That's just a part of it. Mm-hmm. So I would like to see that happen for our culture. I've seen how many bridges wine has built for me. I've been on the train, millionaires overhear me talking about wine. I'm on the train in Italy, dude from Geneva inviting me out to his house after that. Just from hearing me talk about wine.
Wow.
You know what, Jermaine? I love that you're here. I love wine. I love a good glass of red. And I recently got put onto Andre Mack, who's a really big deal.
That's my bro. I was with Andre Mack the other day. Andre Mack is my OG. Andre Mack is like Michael Jordan. I'm like Kobe. I learned all his moves.
Who's Andre Mack?
So Andre Mack is an incredible entrepreneur, specifically in the wine space. He owns a lot of different businesses in Brooklyn on Rogers Avenue. One of them is an incredible wine bar called Ann Sons. Yep, and ham bar.
Shop.
Yeah.
He got like he owned like everything on his whole street.
He's incredible. Shout out also to my boy Ken, who's the founder of Unwind 101. I
Shout
believe
out to
y'all
my dog Ken.
are
Yes,
cool.
yes,
But
yes.
on the subject of
There's
bringing
a lot happening in black wine,
I
baby.
like it. I love it. Black wine. Let's go.
I feel like a lot of times when it comes to our culture, the wine that gets shouted out all the time is Moscato.
Yes, it does.
And Jermaine, I'm happy you're here so you can kind of help us to elevate our wine game.
Right.
Because, at a certain age, you don't just drink to get drunk, especially when you're looking at the price. It's a whole experience.
You ain't taking the expressway. You want to take the scenic route.
Yes, the
you know what
scenic
I'm saying? Enjoy the
route.
ride a little bit. Look around.
So take us through, like, when you open a bottle of wine, like, what are some little elements that the average person maybe doesn't do in order to elevate the experience, and also maybe some suggestions for folks who do like Moscato, where else they can go?
So, one, I would say don't hate on Moscato, right? Moscato a lot of times gets a bad rap, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of great Moscatos out there. You could try like Moscato d'Asti, so there's different levels to everything. And especially if you like Moscato, there's other wines that have similar flavor profiles. It's about like opening your mind. But wine is like art. You can appreciate it on a lot of different levels. You can appreciate a picture. You can appreciate the beautiful hue of a glass of wine. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes like, damn, how did they get that color? It's just like, you could appreciate the dope color on some ill sneakers. You appreciate the smell. We all like cologne, right? You know what I'm saying? So you can appreciate it simply just on that level.
Yes.
Then you got the taste. you know, so you can appreciate it on that level. And then it's the aftertaste is thinking about it. And now you're really reading through the notes and understanding the complexities. Complexity, like, so my whole thing is comparing like wine to hip hop. Complexity in wine is similar to complexity in hip hop, because you'll have like different tenets in complex raps, like, you know, vocabulary,
like a Kendrick
flow,
Lamar, let's say.
but like think
J.
about
Cole.
the different elements to it, like vocabulary, flow,
layers.
wordplay,
The production.
you know, like all of these different elements that play into a complex rhyme. And what makes it complex is the interplay of all of those things. You can appreciate them all on their own, but when they bringing them together like that, it's like, wow, that's a complex. That's cannabis. That's Joel Ortiz. You know, so wine is the same way. You can appreciate some things on the surface level. They, you know, the primary aromas, you know, primary flavors. So like that's just like the fruit. You smelling the fruit. That's the first thing you get. That's the hit single, you know. And so
I like that.
And,
Yeah,
word.
Okay.
That's the first. That's off the top. That's what you're gonna get, and that's what when they say like an approachable wine.
Yeah.
You know, something that's fruit forward, something that's, you know, the primary taste and primary aromas are like a lot of fruit, so it's super enjoyable, not difficult to understand.
What makes a wine worth $14,000, like you had mentioned before,
supply
versus
and
a wine
demand.
that's $9.99?
Let me ask you this: what makes your a pair of exclusive Jordans worth like $1,000? What makes the Marty McFly's worth $10,000? You know, it's supply and demand. When you think about wine, it's produce. There's only but so much of it that can grow in a particular spot. You got some companies that make 50,000 bottles a week. You have some that make 10,000 bottles of vintage. You know, so it varies always based on. Hang on 1 second. Let's see what we got.
What we got over here?
We got some wine here.
Okay, JoJo Brim just walked in.
Yeah,
Give it up.
yeah.
JoJo. He ran to his office,
We got some
ran
wine.
back. Y'all know JoJo always tell the story
Yeah.
that the first record company, major label I was signed to, he was signed to at the
Yes.
same time.
Yes.
Bust a little wine. I'm gonna see
While
if
you get that
we
wine,
got
hold on,
an
let me
Let's
finish
do
my
it.
story on there.
Yes. I want to see
Okay.
if somebody got an opener.
Let's get a
Let's see if
wine
we can
opener.
get it.
Anybody got a wine opener in
This is
there?
probably one in the office.
Maybe
one
Look in the
back.
office in the kitchen. And so JoJo Brim and I were both signed to Giant Warner Brothers. I'm going to tell this story every time he comes up here. Sway and King Tech. Y'all was FS Effect?
Yep.
FX Effect was the name of his group. We were the only two rap groups signed to Giant Warner Brothers. We were from the West. They were from the East. We were there to break ground. We were there to push the culture forward in unison, right?
Yes.
But these East Coast slums over here, these East Coast what you
slickers.
call them?
You making a blanket statement right now.
Right.
I'm from the East Coast, bro.
Same
What's
here.
good?
And Heather was robbing.
They stabbed us in the back, Heather.
I ain't do that.
They
I wasn't
stabbed us
there.
in the back.
If I was
Yo,
there, y'all wouldn't have got stabbed. You know how I feel about my people.
me and King Tech was there, open arms. We had B-boys,
I
the
would have
whole
helped y'all.
nine.
I would have helped y'all.
And JoJo Brim and his group went on first. We were supposed to go on first at the Palladium. They said we want to go on first. And then when we got on stage, him and his management made sure that they closed the curtain on us in the middle of our show, being competitive with the wrong people.
JoJo, I don't believe that story. Please step up to the mic, boy.
There's a little bit of information that he's missing from the story.
That's my dog JoJo,
The
by
story
the way,
ain't true?
y'all.
The story ain't true?
It's true, but there's more information.
Okay.
Fill in the gaps.
You know, I was a young upstart. I did not know my way around. I was being misled. And they said, you know, don't let them rock like that. I said, no! This is my guy! This is my guy!
Because
What
he
are
knew
you
he
doing?
was gonna do his thing.
And you know, we were an R&B rap.
He seen it. He seen
So
the
I
big
reckon
boys.
had
and he
Christopher
got
Williams
shook.
on it. See, they was like, yo, they gonna show y'all up. Y'all like R&B rap group. It's not gonna happen. Then I got elbowed. Yeah, that's what it was. I got elbowed. I got elbowed, and then the big dude pulled the
Sway
thing
left
down.
that part out earlier.
And then it didn't close.
Sway
Dude's
up.
close.
Really, it did happen.
It
It really did happen. Truth of the matter was, we didn't know, right? It was probably
Who's
At
your
that
manager?
time,
Who was the manager?
Jimmy Jenkins.
Jimmy Jenkins did
Andre
it.
Harrell's best friend.
Wow.
God bless Jimmy Jenkins. Jimmy
God
J.
bless
Law.
Andre Harrell.
God bless Andre.
Anyway,
Yeah.
JoJo
So that's-
Brim is here, and Jermaine and JoJo are associates and friends.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
JoJo making some things happen, man.
No, this dude is incredible. I love that we have our history together. I get to tease him every time.
All right, I
And
gotta
listen, I
go.
will
Okay.
say one thing about that bottle,
Okay.
so that y'all know. That's a private bottle that we're working on with a company called Dynamis Estates out of North Carolina. Just because I know me and you get to talk all the way about it, but these are the type of things we're going to be doing. So
Okay.
that's not even out yet, but you can
Oh.
drink it, have it. And listen, all the deal ain't even all the way closed, but because it's you,
Okay.
seriously, and I don't,
Beautiful.
because
Yeah,
it's
no.
you, I said, I'm just going to give you that.
That's
Because that's
beautiful.
where we're going. And to his story, these are the type of things that we're going to be doing together, where he's able to help us on the music side
Okay.
and the content side, bring and bridge the culture gap.
I love that.
Right? So that bottle literally is a demo. Y'all about to taste a
Let me see
demo
the bottle.
of a wine.
Well, they took it to go get it open, but if you free Jermaine, seriously, I have to go to my next show next door. It happens to be Soul Food Thursday, where we talk about recipes for your bar, your
Yeah.
table, and your soul. You're welcome to come over right after this show.
Absolutely.
And I would love to just big you up.
Absolutely.
Let's finish this on Heather B Live.
Oh,
We'll close this show, and then
and
y'all
then come
can go,
next door.
Come next door.
Seriously.
Yeah.
You're welcome
All
to
right,
come.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm about to do another live show in 8 minutes.
Jermaine Stone, thank you, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nah, for sure. Like and you'll see, like with Street Somm, what I'm trying, like the people that I'm connected to, the types of people I hang out with. I want to try to connect Wine and Bridget, make it super approachable. Every city I'm hitting different spots. I'm in Houston. Like this one episode, I'm with Bun B on there. You know what
Okay,
I'm
so
saying?
I want
love
y'all to
it.
get with my cousin Earl Stevens.
Yeah, oh man.
E40.
E40.
For
That's his
Stevens
real
Wine.
cousin.
That's my blood cousin.
Wow, I
So,
didn't know that.
Yeah, so I want Errol Stevens and his wine collection to be featured on Street Somm. Can we make that happen?
We could talk. Yeah, we could figure that out, man. We can make that happen.
After he
I
closed
can
the
holler
curtain
at-
on me, we got to figure this
Wow.
out.
We got to help 40 Water out. We got to help 40
let's do
Water
it.
out.
All right, cool. Well, yo, Jermaine, thank you for coming
Thank
by.
you, man.
Citizens, you
Thank
want to
you.
learn more about wine, hit them up at Real Wolf of Wine.